Hi guys, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. So I have brought you over to my custom neighborhood that is downloadable, although I've brought you to a version of it that I've been playing. Alright, the reason why I did this was I would like to show you what I do with the traits. There's a really helpful trait project that converts Sims 3 traits to Sims 2. I'll place the link in the description, and this is very handy for building out your characters. So I thought I'd use this neighborhood to just show you how you can enhance your characters further by using these traits. Alright, so we're going to go over to a household over here that's on the poorer side of town. If you have been following this neighborhood and the development and characters and stuff, you will see that this looks very different. It has really developed. There's added homes that wasn't there before, and yeah, I've been having a blast playing in this. This is the townhouse version, not the apartment version. Of course, you can have all the expansion packs and play this. The only thing I did with this version is instead of placing some of the Sims in apartments, that can be a bit buggy sometimes, I built them townhouses. So, alright, without further ado, let's go look at the traits. We're going to go to the Blunders family. A lot of the kiddos has grown up, and I think they had one more son after in my gameplay. So I'll read you the bio that they started out with. I don't think I changed this yet. And then I'll go show you what has happened and how did I change things in this family. So originally it says Mikey and his family thrive in their circumstances, or do they? This is Mikey, of course. And Mikey may think they're all thriving, but some of the kids may not agree. Una, that's the wife, gave up on her dream a long time ago, but she loves her family and now she just embraces the chaos. So this was the bio in the beginning, and it's kind of just relevant still, even though the twins have grown into kids and all that. So, alright, let's go take a look how I built out these characters. So here we are in the trailer of this family. And when you start off with the neighborhood that I give you, you start on a Tuesday morning. It is now Friday morning, so, you know, quite a few days have passed. I guess it would be like 3 or 4 in-game years, because I play with the lifespan where one sim day is 1 year. Alright, so let's start off with Una Blunders. So Una is a pleasure aspiration sim, and she has the lifetime want of becoming a professional party guest, although in the bio it basically tells us that you know, she's kind of given up on her dream. When you start in a vanilla game, you have the opportunity to basically add in these lifetime aspiration benefits. I always, or most of the time, I give my Sims a secondary aspiration. I just feel like it adds another facet to their personality. Alright? And so she's, for instance, a main pleasure, although I didn't give her any of these attributes. And then she is a secondary family. Now, the reason I didn't give her this is like fast metabolism. She is a bit overweight. That is kind of the part of her charm, is that she is a bit on the rounder side. So I don't want to change that. She's, for instance, got this personality that it really shows up that she's very playful. She's kind of on the lazy side. You know, otherwise she's maybe a bit balanced. And her bio is still the same as before. It just, you know, again, alleviates to the fact that she wanted to be famous, but realized that that's not going to happen anytime soon, and has basically settled down with her husband and kids, and she is quite happy. So even though her lifetime want cannot be fulfilled, it doesn't matter to her. Now what I've added over here is the traits. What I do is I add a set of 8 traits to my sim. I know that this is not the amount that you usually play with. You can play with 3, or they get added gradually. But I love giving my sims their traits from the very beginning. And, basically as soon as they become a toddler or something like that, if they're born in game, because I feel like a person's personality already has all the facets that it has. Maybe you won't see it early on, but it's already there. Okay. So, or I build out my story as well. If I decide a sim is going to go in a certain direction, certain things in their life, I want them to influence them, then I already place these traits there. It's not to say I cannot change it later, but that's usually what I do. So if we look at hers, she's a great kisser, she's a hopeless romantic, she is a natural cook. So this is her talent. So I always give the sims whatever their talent is. She is a bit tone deaf. She can't carry a tune. And she's childish. She is family oriented, but she's also absent-minded, and she's nurturing. So what I've done here, basically with her personality, I do look at her basic personality points, but then I also look at her interests for some guidance. Now, will I change a sim's interests if I feel like it doesn't suit me or the story that I have in mind for them? Yes. I play with bullprop testing cheats enabled, so I can change that at any time by literally dragging it up or down. I prefer that level of control if I have created a character, because I usually have a story in mind for them. And I mean, for instance, if you have someone if you create a sim that's this money hungry guy that's wants to make money at all cost, and you want to make him an oil baron, then you're not going to give him a trait that he's terribly eco-friendly, and it's not going to make sense for you if you go to his interests. He wouldn't then really be interested in, for instance, maybe health, so other people's health. He wouldn't care about animals. The environment score would then be really low, So that's the type of things that I look at, and I want it to make sense. So for instance, she's a bit overweight, she's on the lazy side. She only has one interest point in sports, because why would she have more, right? So for her personality, I feel like she's this kind of free spirit, la-di-da, she has all these kids and they're kind of running about however they want. They're all sharing rooms, and there's hardly space. I mean, one of them sleeping in the hallway with a TV will irritate him, that type of thing. So I feel like this personality really suits her. And some of these traits don't do anything at the moment, because it's a kind of a project that they're working on constantly, and a lot of simmers and creators add to it over time. So it's handy to keep an eye out and see when there's updates. Usually on Tumblr, they will tell you, I keep an eye there where they will say, I've updated, for instance, playful. Now a sim that's playful will do this or that. If it suits, if there's certain circumstances, or if they're a certain type of sim. So I love that, because it just changes your gameplay up a little bit, and it makes it very realistic. So for instance, if you click on it, it will tell you something about the trait. So for instance, absent-minded sims get lost in their thoughts occasionally forget what they are doing, where they're going. So for instance, actions that's in the queue can, here and there, it can disappear. Now it's not to the point where it's irritating and happening all the time, but here and there she will, when I tell her to do something, she won't end up doing it. So it's it kind of gives her a little bit more character, you know. Some of these don't have any action yet. I think Can't Carry a Tune is one that it's one of the newer ones, and this one, you know, you kind of add it for yourself, but it doesn't do anything in game yet. I mean, maybe there's been an update that I missed. That could be. Okay, let's go over to Mikey. So Mikey works on cars for a living. All right. If you haven't seen this, the deep dive into this neighborhood, I suggest it because I'm not going to go through every single thing over here. But I will just mention a few things. So he works on cars. He doesn't have a job other than that. He's very family oriented. He is a family sim. He would like to reach his golden anniversary, and these are his interests. So for instance, you know, he has a higher interest in sports, and he's interested in food. He's not that interested in money. Money is not that important to him. So, you know, with that type of outlook, he's not interested in having a set job or getting a specific salary. He's just happy, happy-go-lucky, and he just loves having all these kids, even if the circumstances are not ideal for them, even if they don't have a lot. It doesn't matter to him. You know, that type of thing is not important. So then if you keep all of that in mind and you go to his traits that I gave him, he's family oriented. I gave him a friendly trait. He is a genuinely friendly person. I said he's a good guy. He's very handy. He's a bit on the shy side, but at the same time, he's a born salesperson. So you may ask me now, how can that work? Well, he's on the shyer side. He doesn't party and go out and seek people to socialize with. But when it comes to selling his cars that he fixed, he's really good at it. So, you know, I can, I have this headcanon that I have about him, and that is on the grounds of that, I add in the traits that I want to give him. So he's a schmoozer. Even though he's a bit on the shy side, he can sell you a car, he can schmooze you until you buy it. And then he's very nurturing. That goes with a family oriented. Oftentimes when I place the traits in their inventory, I kind of group them together for myself in a logical way. But then, you know, once you add stuff to the inventory, sometimes, you know, things change places, don't stay in the same order that you had them in. Now, if I look at his personality, you can see that he's not terribly interested in keeping things neat. He is on the shy side, but he is active. He's very busy. And he's on the serious side. Now, serious in the sense, you know, he loves his kids and he plays with them, but serious in the sense that, you know, he still enjoys doing more serious things. For instance, he would like to play chess with his kids, you know, outside in the garden or things like that. He, rather than lying in front of the TV, he's actually not someone who does that. Okay. Then let's look at their teenage daughter. Now, she's the one that's not content living over here. She wants to rise out. So for me, it made sense to give her a secondary fortune aspiration. So that's that power combination that, you know, kind of the game had aspiration that's not available for you to choose. That was kind of cancelled, but the code is still there. And it was called, I think, something like power aspiration or something like that. And it had a lot of attributes that's from the fortune aspiration, but also from popularity. So when a sim has the combination of this, I view it as they're a very good business person, and they're, you know, kind of good at having influence and things like that. So she has the makings for that, and her dream is to become Captain Euro. So she would like to make a positive difference in the town, and she has a very balanced personality. She's very nice, but she's also serious. And then I gave her, for instance, to build out her personality. I gave her talent is music, so virtuoso. I gave her a bookworm trait because I feel she's serious. She likes to read more than, you know, hang out at the movies. She's very ambitious because she wants to rise out. That's all part of her bio. But her family is important to her. And she is pretty much a good sim. And she's friendly. She has a very good sense of humor. And she's also excitable. So I try with my sims to never give them just the same traits. You know, even if they have some traits from their parents, I don't want them to just be a carbon copy of their parents or their siblings. So let's look at what I did with Jacqueline. So Jacqueline, this is Jacqueline's personality. And she's just this kid that loves her family and just enjoys having them all around her. So for her, obviously she doesn't have a lifetime want or anything that we can refer to yet. But I gave her, you know, nurturing family, but that she also has this kind of dynamic, really likable, irresistible personality. Now, this trait usually, you know, gives you give it to your romance sims, actually, and say, okay, everyone wants to date them and socialize with them because they're so irresistible and charming. But I don't just use it for romance sims. For instance, I don't plan on making her a romance sim at all. I would rather go in the family direction with her. But sometimes I use it in my headcanon if a sim has extremely charming personality where they're just so likable that people just want to be around them. Then I give them irresistible. And that's what I did with her. Then over here, I gave her good. She's a good girl. She's very friendly, but she is shy. So this is an interesting combination because you would think if someone's irresistible, then they're very charismatic. But in her instance, I actually decided to do it the other way around. She's shy and she's humble. She's not very outgoing, but people find her irresistible just because she's so nice, you know. So that's how I view her personality. She is a tinkering sim, so I gave her the handy trait, and she's also quite active, so she would be someone who's good at sports. Okay, so that's Jacqueline, and then the twins that grew up. So Hank, this is Hank. He, in his bio, I say that he just wants to be with his mommy. He's so shy. He doesn't want to be around other people, really. You know, and I kind of decided to run with that story for him. So I wanted that to be reflected. So his traits really reflect that. He is socially awkward. He doesn't enjoy being in social situations. He's a little bit neurotic. So with neurotic, it says it's sims that freak out at the most minor of provocations. They can become stressed easily, can be difficult to mellow. Luckily, they take solace in sharing their worries with others. So he's socially awkward. He's a little bit neurotic, and he freaks out really easily and becomes stressed really easily. Along with that would go shy, that he really does not enjoy interacting with other people. And then a bot fan. So, you know, he has, I feel like because his dad is a handy sim, he could have maybe got a little bit of it. but more be interested in a different facet of tinkering. Not so much, being generally handy, but rather just being interested in robotics. And then I said that he really likes horses. He loves to swim. He's very athletic, but he's a playful and a little bit childish. So at the same time, I feel like that could almost go with socially awkward, that he doesn't quite know when to stop with a joke, because he's kind of on the childish side. So yeah, I really enjoy adding these little things in my game, and I don't even track it really on a sheet or anything like that. I just refer to it from time to time. If I want to make a big decision in a Sim's life, then I just go in and look at what did I give them, and look at their bio, because I try to update regularly as well if something changes, of course, or they age a little bit, and I can add something in. Then this is his brother, William, and William has a different personality from his brother. So he's also on the playful side. He's also very nice, but he's lazy. He's not as active, and he's a little bit more, a lot more outgoing. He's not so neat. So for him, for instance, he's quite artistic, so I gave him that trait. But he's a bit of a couch potato. He's also childish, like his brother, but he's a good boy and he's very friendly. He's got a good sense of humor. He's very brave. He's a bit of a daredevil. I felt like these two would go hand in hand. So maybe, I stated this in the bios as well. He's the one that will try things out. He will, as a toddler, he went and stuffed his hands in the toilet, where his brother was, the shy one that just wanted mommy and hung on to her pants the whole time. So, they're twins, but they're so different. And he has a good sense of humor, and he's childish, but he can make a good joke, and the other Sims kind of enjoy, hearing what he has to say, whereas his brother cannot string a sentence together. So, I thought that would be interesting. And then when you play their story out, you can have that be reflected, especially when they're teens, when they're going to university. You can have that actually be reflected in their friendships and maybe the job they do one day. Make the one a quiet writer at home, make the other one a sports star, something like that. That could be directions that you go in. Or maybe a performer, since he's a bit of a couch potato. Maybe he wouldn't be a sports star, but maybe he might be an adventurer or something like that, because he's a bit of a daredevil, tries new things. So those are just things that I really enjoy adding into the game to just build my characters up so much more. Then this little boy was born in-game as I played, so he's not in the original. He's called Blunders, and this is his personality. He's really lazy, very playful, very nice, quite outgoing, on the neat side. And for him, I gave him good sense of humor, a dreamer. This is another one that I think does absolutely nothing in game, dreamer. But I like that. It just adds in my head canon. It adds something to the fact that he's just got big dreams, big ideas. Even since the time that he's young, he wants to, I don't know, let's say he's playing with his car and he's pretending it's flying. It's not just driving, it's flying. I made him a vehicle enthusiast. I thought that he would maybe, even though he's maybe not handy, he might look at the cars that his dad's busy with and just really enjoy the idea of them and hearing the engine roar, that type of thing. He's family oriented, he's friendly, good, he's neat, and he inherited his natural cook trait from his mom. So I feel like this is just super cool way of telling your story. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. I'm not going to go into every household because I do want to do like an update after 5 in-game years and just show you guys how things could change if you were to play a neighborhood like this. So I don't want to ruin it. I've already showed you one family, but this was just a nice big family to show you, you know, different ways that you can use the trait system. One that I really enjoy is the kleptomaniac one. If you give that to a sim and you install everything that goes along with it, then your sim can actually pickpocket other sims around the neighborhood, and it's just really funny and adds some realism if you have someone that's, you know, into the criminal career or criminal aspect of things. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me for this. And I'll add the links in the description if you want to try out the traits for yourself. You just have to check, you know, that you install it correctly so you don't mess up your game. I would suggest having a good backup of your neighborhoods just before you add something like that, so that you're sure you don't mess up anything. But it's really nice. I really highly recommend it. And if you're into storytelling and really enjoy trying to have realistic characters, then this is excellent. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend simming and that you are blessed. Love you guys, and thank you so much for your support on my videos and on my channel. I love sharing what I do in Sims with you guys, and it's wonderful to see what you guys are doing and to read in the comments what you guys are doing. This is such a small niche, but it's a fun niche, and I mean, it's such an old game, but it's a wonderful game. It has just amazing things that you can do with it, and such an amazing community that still make mods and make CC, and there's just beautiful things you can download for this game. So yeah, I just enjoy it a lot. I don't think I'll ever get tired of playing it. I'm very excited for Paralives to come out, and I intend on posting Paralives content too if I can get my hands on the game, and I would need to look into computing specs. But yeah, I think Sims 2 will just always be something that I continue with. I don't intend on ever losing my love for this game, even though, you know, even if Paralives is amazing, I will be playing both and I will be posting both, but I definitely will never stop with Sims 2. So you you can be sure that lots of content will still be coming out from this channel. Thank you guys for everything, and have a great day. Bye.